Well,
We'll set your matter.
I like to challenge jurisdiction right now. I have the
you
right
can
to
file
travel. You telling me I don't have the right to challenge jurisdiction right now? I, Rambo L, an executor and beneficiary of recited. Also, I filed a declaration of non-citizenship nationality because I've done a name change. Rambo L is a man, people, but not a person. I was not operating in commerce, nor was I driving. Rambo was just merely traveling in my private property. I don't see an injured party. I don't know why I'm here.
All right, you guys need to see this one. So this sovereign citizen walks into court claiming his name is Rambo. Yeah, you heard that right. Rambo. He says he's not a person, just a man. He's here because he got caught driving without a license and refusing to show one. But instead of dealing with that like a normal adult, this guy starts pulling out made-up legal jargon like he's reading from a comic book. Now, right from the start, the judge is patient, way more patient than I'd ever be. The judge asks him a simple question. Sir, do you have an...
You have an attorney, sir?
No, I'm here by special appearance.
Okay. I'll put you in the private meeting room with the city attorney.
Your Honor, we've actually already met with Mr. Rambo L before. He was requesting a formal hearing on these two files.
Okay, sounds good. Formal hearings will be set for in-person appearance.
Actually, I filed a motion January 6th is when it went unanswered. I would like the court to dismiss this matter.
Okay, your motion to dismiss is denied.
How many days does the prosecutor have to answer my motion for motion for challenge of jurisdiction that I submitted to the clerk? And I've served everybody, all parties. How long does he have? Because that happened January 6th.
I see it's a motion to show authority.
And also a demand for dismissal, lack of jurisdiction, failure to introduce evidence of an injury in fact, challenges jurisdiction of the court to prosecute. That was filed January 6th.
We only have one motion attached to the file. I don't see the other motions that you're referencing, sir.
It's timestamped by the court. I have it right here.
I see a motion to show authority, which the court has denied. And then there was a memo that was attached. There was not any other motion. I don't read via Zoom.
It's filed with the clerk. Everybody was served.
Mr. Staples, did you get a copy of the motion he's referencing?
I see a copy of the motion to show authority in our file. I don't recognize it as any sort of valid motion or pleadings, but I see a copy of it in our file.
Agreed. That's the same the court has. It's a motion to show authority. The other motions that he's referencing was not properly filed with this court or served as the court. Neither the court nor Mr. Staples' office is in receipt of it. The motion to show authority was denied. Is not in proportion with the Michigan court rules. It does cite, however, Luke 11:46, the King James version, Luke 11:52, as well as some other articles and treaties. But nonetheless, as indicated by Mr. Staples from the Office of City Attorney, this is not a lawful or appropriately filed motion, and for that reason, it was denied before this court. But we will.
Well, I like to challenge jurisdiction right now. I have the right to travel.
Attorney. And this dude proudly goes, "No, I'm here by special appearance." Oh, here we go. That's sovereign citizen code for, "I'm about to waste everyone's time." The judge tries to move things along, says they'll set up a formal hearing. But Rambo here? Nope. He claims he filed some motion back in January and demands to know why the court didn't answer it. He starts rattling off dates, phrases, and words that sound legal but don't actually mean anything. The judge calmly looks at the file and says, "Sir, the only motion we have is your motion to show authority. It's already been denied." And Rambo, without missing a beat, immediately shifts gears and starts shouting, "I want to challenge jurisdiction right now. I have the right to
with the court under the Michigan court rules to challenge jurisdiction. But what we won't do is entertain motions under the King James Version of the Bible. Okay?
That was a different motion you're referring to. That was the motion to show authority.
We don't have the other motion, sir. So you can file that motion. It's just we don't have it. I don't know why we only have one motion. That we don't have the other one you're referencing. So you'd have to file that and serve it on the city attorney. We'll give you time to do that. I'm going to set both of these matters for hearing, though.
I can't chill. You telling me I don't have the right to challenge jurisdiction right now? I want to challenge jurisdiction right now.
You can file a motion for challenging the jurisdiction, sir.
I can't do a verbal motion?
No, you cannot.
So you telling me I have a right to do a verbal motion?
You don't have a right to do that. You're going to file it in writing and you're going to serve it properly on the parties that you're filing it against. Okay, sir? March 14th at 10:30 in person at the court will be the date for the formal hearing, and then we'll hear any arguments on motions if necessary. You have any questions today, Mr. L? Okay, well, then you're all set. Thank you. Okay, you can have a seat. Thank you.
Officer Vanderwerf, would you state your name for the records, please?
Oh, you want to call him? Let me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Swear, man, no worries. Vanderwerf, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Judge. So I was traveling southbound on King when I observed a pickup truck in front of me that was changing lanes, failing to use its signal. So at that time, I activated my overhead lights on the vehicle to initiate a traffic stop. And then I made contact with the driver, who was later identified as a Rambo L. In our contact, he ended up handing me a piece of paper. At brief glance, when I looked at the piece of paper, it appeared to have what I believe was certain MCL codes that the subject may have typed onto the piece of paper. When I had asked him for a driver's license or identification, he was not really very cooperative. I also don't believe I was provided any insurance. At that time, I decided to issue him a citation for failing to signal, changing lanes, and failing to display a valid license, and then also the license plate when through the system was expired.
Mr. L, did you want to question the witness?
Yes. The document that you were referring to, it was a travel document. I was showing you I was traveling versus driving, and I tried to explain that to you. And then you held me on the side of the road for approximately an hour. I requested a supervisor because they might better understand what I was doing, and you never provided that for me. Is that correct?
That's actually incorrect, because the reason that you were held on the stop for as long as you were is because I was waiting for a supervisor. So when I realized the supervisor was not there, I contacted him by phone, at which time he said he was delayed. And when I came back up to the traffic stop, I did ask if you wanted to wait further for a sergeant, and I don't believe that you did. And then you drove off when you were free to go.
Yes. Is it correct that I was held on the road for approximately an hour waiting for this whole encounter to end?
I do not remember if it was an hour specifically, but I do remember that the time length was probably, I would say probably close to that at the very least.
Well, it was an hour, and it caused me to be late for my son's banquet. And and I never got to speak to a supervisor. That's all the questions I had.
to travel. It's almost impressive how fast he switches from one fake argument to another, like he's flipping through a sovereign citizen handbook. You can practically see him reading it off his mental cue cards. Right to travel. Executor of the estate. Beneficiary. Not a person. And honestly, at this point, it's hilarious. You can tell the judge is done but still keeping it together. He tells Rambo, "Sir, you can file a written motion. We're not doing verbal motions here." And this guy just won't stop. So I can't challenge jurisdiction right now? No, sir. You cannot. Like, how many times do you need to hear no before you get it? The judge sets another date for a formal hearing, trying to give him every opportunity to do things the right way.
Okay, Mr. Earl, are you calling any witnesses today, or did you want to give your own testimony?
I I would like to, I have some, I'll have a defense, my
Well-
motion.
Okay, well, you filed a motion?
Yeah, I filed a motion, served across
When did
city
you file a
attorney.
motion?
It was filed, it was mailed February 18th.
You filed a motion and mailed it February 18th. Did you serve a copy?
To the clerk of the courts and also to the city attorney's office.
Did you receive any motion, sir?
Your Honor, we did receive a motion. It did not have any hearing date stated on it. We had no timetable for a response. I would be happy to respond to the motion on the record orally or provide the court with briefing if they would like.
The court didn't get a copy of the motion in February.
I sent it to the clerk. And,
Yeah, typically when that happens, it's just attached to the file. I don't have a copy of any motion.
well, I did my due diligence. I sent a copy to him. He has his.
Well, I don't know that you did your due diligence because when you file a motion, you got to get a hearing date for that motion. And so
Who's supposed to give me a hearing?
you got to get the hearing date from the clerk's office.
From the clerk's office?
Yeah.
So why did they give me one?
Did you contact them for a hearing date?
I contacted them, yeah.
And ask for
And I
hearing
asked
dates
them,
for your
and I
motion?
asked when was my hearing. They confirmed that it was today.
For your motion.
And I asked, did I have a hearing date? And they
But-
said,
And you do have a hearing date, but that's not what I asked you. Did you ask them, did you have a hearing date for your motion?
for my motion,
Yes.
they didn't tell me, but I did provide to him an order for the motion that gave him 21 days to respond.
Okay, you can make your motion before the court because I don't have a copy. You can make it now orally.
Okay, well, now comes the beneficiary for Rambo L, defendant in error here by special appearance, not submitting to the court's jurisdiction, hereby moves the court to strike and dismiss the complaint filed by the officer Zenderbar. Am I pronouncing that right? Sorry if I'm not. For lack of ratification and commencement, no corpus delicti, no plaintiff lacks jurisdiction, personal or firm jurisdiction. Christina Simmons being appointed as trustee, the prosecutors being appointed as co-trustee, I, Rambo L, an executor and beneficiary of a set of account. Also, I filed a declaration of non-citizenship nationality because I've done a name change. Where my point of authorities are the United States District of Columbia Corporation in Volume 20, Corpus Juris Section 1785, we find United States government as a foreign corporations with respect to the states. Since the corporation is fictitious, is a fictitious person, it can't see, speak, smell, or touch itself. It's a fictional. Is a fiction in the real world. It needs a conducting, transmitting utility, a liaison, some sort of connection to a fictional person. Constitutional Amendment number 1, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of a religion, prohibiting free exercise thereof, abridging freedom of speech or right of press or right of people, peaceful assemble, petition the government for redress of grievance. Number 5, Constitutional Amendment. The right of people should be secure in their person, houses, papers, in effect against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued upon probable cause supported by an oath or affirmation, particularly describing the place search of persons, things to be seized. And then number 7, Constitutional Amendment, suits at common law where value of controversy exceeding $20, the right of a jury trial shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States according to the rules of common law. I asked for a jury trial, I didn't get that. Rambo L is a man, people, but not a person. I was not operating in commerce, nor was I a driver on the road for travel. A driver is an employee transporting goods or passengers. Rambo was just merely traveling in my private property.
But you just know this isn't over, because the second the officer starts testifying, Rambo decides it's time for round 2. The cop explains that he pulled Rambo over after seeing him change lanes without signaling. When he walked up to the car, Rambo handed him a piece of paper. Not a license, not registration. A paper filled with random legal codes he probably copied from Google. The officer says he wasn't cooperative, didn't provide insurance, and had expired plates. Then Rambo gets his chance to question the officer. And man, this is pure gold. He goes, "That paper was a travel document, sir. I was traveling, not driving. And you detained me for an hour." The officer, being totally professional, says, "Actually, I was waiting for my supervisor because you requested one. When I came..."
Examples of my Supreme Court constitutional defenses. Number one, I was not engaged in a commercial trade at the time of the alleged infraction, and I do not proceed to say a license is upon a constitutional detention. Motor vehicle means every description of a carrier drawn by mechanical power used in commercial purposes on a highway. There's neither injury nor trespasses. Any trespasses. All crimes are commercial. 27 CFR 72.11, and every alleged crime has to have a nature and cause and be prosecuted by the name of the people of the state. I don't have a contract with the state. I don't see an injured party. I don't know why I'm here.
Any additional argument on your motion?
I would like the court, I would ask the court to dismiss this to failure to state a claim where relief can be granted.
The court has heard the argument. I'm first address your motion, Mr. L, and I'm going to deny your motion as clearly indicated in the response by the city. Your claims would be most appropriately brought before the Court of Claims, and so you can't challenge a constitutional issue in this court, okay? As it relates to the authority and the process to bring this matter before the district court as it relates to your civil infractions, you have an expired plate and a failure to signal. Again, a jurisdiction or venue before this court is appropriate. This is a situation or incident that occurred in the area of South MLK, Martin Luther King Boulevard. That's in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. And so you're subject to the laws and the ordinances of the city of Lansing, but also the laws under the Michigan compile laws. Here in this district court, we are subject to the Michigan court rules. And so although I gave leniency with your motion, it was not properly filed and or served. But it also does not comport with the Michigan compile laws or Michigan court rules. And so for those reasons, it is denied. Now, as to the civil infraction, failed to signal an expired plate from December 3rd, 2022, we do not provide any valid dispute or defense to these civil infractions. You could have appeared and showed information that demonstrated you did have a valid plate at the time, or that you even have one now, which could reduce the citation, but that's not taking place. And so I'm going to sustain both violations of civil infractions. There's a fine of $125 on each. Okay, sir?
My next defense, am this done or can I say something else?
You can say something else. I asked you if you had any further defense, but you said.
My next defense would be, Michigan allows 72 hours to register any vehicle when it's first purchased. He never asked for anything. I never got a chance to explain myself on the side of the road.
Okay, do you have proof that you had just purchased it within 72 hours?
I don't have the title.
Okay, thank you, sir. If the defense is not meaningful, if you can't provide any evidence to support that defense. That being said, your fine is $125 on each file. When do you intend to make payment?
Do I have a chance to appeal this?
You can.
I would like to appeal.
Okay, you want to file an appeal? It's the civil infraction?
I want to file an appeal today.
Okay, you can file a motion for reconsideration. But you need to follow the Michigan court rules, okay? We don't submit to the sovereign rules, okay? You take that to the
Back, you were free to go. So Rambo proudly declares, "See, I was held for an hour. Like that's his big win. Bro, that's not a defense. That's just admitting how long you annoyed the police. And this is the thing about sovereign citizens. They always think they're exposing some deep secret. But in reality, they're just exposing how little they understand about how the law actually works. Anyway, this court hearing's about to get even worse for him, because the judge gives him another shot to make a proper motion, and Rambo decides to take the floor again. And it's about to go completely off the rails. So the judge tells Rambo he can present his motion, and buckle up, because what comes next sounds like someone dumped a bag of random legal words into a blender and hit puree. He stands up, clears his throat, and says, I, Rambo L., executor and beneficiary of said estate, hereby move the court to dismiss this matter for lack of ratification, corpus delicti, and personal jurisdiction. At this point, everyone in the room is probably trying not to laugh. Then he starts quoting random amendments, Bible verses, and even Luke 11:46. I'm not kidding. He's mixing the Constitution with Scripture like he's about to summon a legal angel. He's talking about fictitious corporations, United States as a foreign entity, and traveling, not driving. The man is throwing buzzwords like confetti at a parade, and honestly, it's painful and hilarious at the same time. You just know this guy spent hours watching YouTube videos that convinced him he's uncovered some ancient legal loophole. He's citing random sections like Corpus Juris Volume 20 and talking about how the government is a fiction that can't see, speak, or touch itself. Like, what are we even doing here? And then, oh, it gets better. He proudly declares that he's not operating in commerce and that Rambo is a man but not a person. Man, if I were in that courtroom, I'd be biting my tongue trying not to laugh. This isn't a defense. It's a stand-up routine. He even starts listing off constitutional amendments, like he's reading a grocery list. 1st, 5th, 7th, and then demands a jury trial because the value of controversy exceeds $20. I swear you can feel the entire courtroom's patience evaporating. The judge, though, absolute rock. Calm, collected, professional. He just lets him finish his monologue and then goes, all right, Mr. L., I've heard your motion, and I'm denying it. And then, like a teacher correcting a kindergartner, he explains it step by step. This is a district court. You're here for civil infractions, expired plates, and failure to signal. Jurisdiction is proper. You're subject to Michigan laws. Translation, sit down, Rambo. He even gives him a chance to show proof that he fixed his plate or registration. But of course, Rambo's got nothing. So the judge fines him $125 for each violation. That's it. Simple, clear, and deserved. And here comes the cherry on top. Rambo tries one last desperate move. He says, do I have a chance to appeal? The judge says, you can file an appeal under Michigan court rules. Then Rambo says, well, we don't submit to the sovereign rules. And the judge, with absolute perfection, ends the whole circus with, okay, you take that to the sovereign court. Mic drop. Clean. Direct. No nonsense. You can just feel the courtroom breathe again after that. Honestly, this judge deserves a medal for patience. He didn't yell, didn't mock, didn't lose composure, just methodically dismantled every word of nonsense Rambo threw at him. And look, I'll say this. These sovereign citizen types, they're not evil, but man, they're lost. They spend hours online convincing themselves they've cracked the legal code, when really, they're just creating chaos for judges, clerks, and cops who are just trying to do their jobs. So, here's your reminder. Don't take legal advice from a random Facebook group with an eagle in the profile picture. These people aren't experts. They're victims of their own misinformation. Anyway, that's going to wrap this one up. Rambo wasn't the craziest sovereign citizen we've seen, but he definitely earned his spot on the Wall of Fame. Let me know in the comments. Do you think he's delusional or just way too deep into the YouTube rabbit hole? Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you enjoy courtroom meltdowns like this, and I'll see you in the next one.